Today is all about navigating the hard skills and soft skills for us developers. It's a guide to thrive in tech. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of PyPod Chronicles. Today, I'm going to share with you guys how I went from a scuba instructor to a coder, and I'm going to unveil the hard and soft skills I've learned along the way. Let's get to it.
Welcome to PyPod Chronicles, a series that brings our tech blog to life in a whole new way. Covering an array of topics surrounding Python and tech, from programming tips, best practices, and so much more. Let's get immersed in Python with the Nerd Nook on the go.
Before I dive into today's episode, guys, do me a favor. Head down, click the like button, reshare this whatever platform you're on, YouTube, Substack. That really helps this podcast reach more people around the world. And use the links in the description. Most of them are absolutely free, and that really helps me out. They're my free courses that I've made for you, my free guides, YouTube, everything. You name it, I've got it. Just for you guys to help you grow. All right. Let's dive into how we can navigate these skills and how I went from scuba instructor to coder. Over the last 7 years, my life has been quite the ride. It all kicked off when I was 20 on a Thai beach and deciding to dive into becoming a scuba instructor. No pun intended. I spent a couple of awesome years on a remote island teaching diving, and boy did it change me. From Thailand's crystal clear seas to Vietnam's buzzing classrooms, I kept polishing my teaching chops, switching gears to high school English and more. Then bam, COVID hit. And I thought, why not learn programming? So during lockdown, I dove headfirst into coding, even joined a boot camp. Every day, I was solely focused on programming, learning these skills and honing in on these skills. But now, I'm all about teaching Python full-time, mixing my love for teaching with my new coding skills, or at this point, not very new. This journey has led me to start my own gigs, where I not only teach code in the classroom, where I also give lectures, and I've created my own ecosystem of my own, like my newsletter, YouTube, and my courses. If you guys want to dive into this full story, where I actually go into like that backstory of diving and whatnot, head down to the link in the description, okay? I have the full story there as well. In today's episode, I aim to discuss not only the hard skills, but more importantly, the soft skills essential for success in learning how to code and in programming overall. These are skills I not only impart, but have witnessed my students acquire, enhancing both their technical abilities and everyday lives. All right. So, hard skills versus soft skills. This is slightly different, as I wanted to add a bit more backstory, right? Hence the diving part. In the last few months, I've seen a lot of people, writing about this, and I've seen articles about hard skills and soft skills left and right. While I agree with some of them and most of them, right, I don't agree with their explanations all the time, as I've gotten the opportunity to work with small and large groups, young to old, and everyone in between. This gives me a rather unique perspective. Most of my podcasts, my writings that you listen to and read, they surround the topics of coding, but the problem is they're all by computer science students or by people who really have no lives and surround themselves in tech. They're just a bunch of tech bros working at a tech company. Less personality, less real stories, less real life experiences. Okay, so that's where I want to differ with this one. Let's talk about the hard skills first. Let's tackle the big stuff that a lot of people get mixed up. I've heard all sorts of questions over the years from parents wondering if their kids should learn to code, blah, blah, AI is going to take over. Yeah, I've heard it, all right? These questions pop up a lot and show a mix of curiosity and concern. But I'm here to set the record straight and remind everyone that human creativity still matters a whole lot in this tech-driven world. Let's start with the first hard skill. Coding. Obviously, Josh, right? This may seem obvious, right? But many people see coding as the whole picture. That's only half of it. To me, coding is just the syntax. It's like learning a language. Learning to code is simply mastering the syntax and punctuation of a particular language. This part is relatively easy and can be taught on, YouTube or online courses, right? It's like learning a new language, all right? If I want to learn Chinese, all right, I can study Chinese or German or French, right? And then it's just about learning the grammar and the language. The other hard skill is programming. I just mentioned code is all about syntax, and yes, it's true. But if you have any type of memory, then you can code. A monkey could code because it's just memorizing things, okay? But really, you can learn a language, but unless you immerse yourself in that culture, you'll never learn a different way of thinking. Programming is the logical thought process to solve problems and tasks. It's your ability to take a large task and break it down into smaller tasks. How does this work? There's a faster way to do it. Right? So the two hard skills to take away here are coding is just memorization. It's learning the words of the language. But programming is immersing yourself in a new culture. It's learning a different way to think. This takes time. This takes practice. All right, so the two hard skills, okay, let's clear those out of the way right now. All right, the soft skills are the fun ones because these are the skills that not many people actually think about. All right. Now, the hard skills, they only scratch the surface. All right. Sure, AI makes those two skills a little bit easier. I get it. But there's a whole bunch that AI can't handle. Right? The skills you pick up along the way, they're pure gold. And these soft skills aren't just handy for coding, they're crucial for everyday life. So take a second. Ask yourself, how good are you at these soft skills? Which ones are you ace at? And which ones could you use a little boost in? The first soft skill is problem solving, right? But this is a skill that so many people lack. And I hate to burst your ego, but it's true. This is a key skill that we develop over the course of our lives. And if you're not putting yourself in unique experiences, your problem solving skills are probably not great. Problem solving is your ability to work through problems. This could be akin to what I mentioned earlier. It's the ability to take a big problem and break it down into little problems. Learning to code only opens you up to faster problem solving skills and a new way to approach problems in our lives. These could be problems at work, at home, or any challenges life throws our way. Our second soft skill is collaboration. You know that saying, there is no I in team? It's cliche, but it's also true. If you can't collaborate, you cannot bring value and you will not go far. It's about working together to create something amazing, relying on each other to solve problems. The end result is always better when you collaborate. I can't emphasize this enough. The world needs more of it. It's a skill that sets you apart and propels you forward. Teamwork makes the dream work. There, I said it. All right, our third soft skill, resilience. Coding teaches you one of the greatest life skills and personality traits of them all, resilience. Keep trying, keep going, never give up. A relatively simple answer to this, right? Every day we're faced with bugs and errors in our code. That's literally our job, to try and solve them. Our job is to try and try again until we find a working solution. We, as developers, are constantly trying and failing. This teaches you to never give up because inevitably, if you keep trying, you're one step closer to a solution, right? It's unreasonable to think that if you try, you will not succeed. Okay, that's just an unreasonable thought. Okay, so resilience, it's a powerful life skill. The last soft skill that I'm going to leave here today, the last skill in general, and it's one of my favorites, is creativity. I want to start off with my favorite quote. Code is art that does something. This changed my whole mentality the day I saw this. It's beautiful. I've always been a creative person, and I knew that that applied to coding too. And the creativity of programming is amazing. Remember, programming is the logical thinking we acquire in coding. You'll watch all these tutorials and free courses, and most of them tell you there's only one way to code or solve a task. That's bullshit. That person's an idiot. Your ability to use your logical skills to come up with your own creative solution, that is gold. You will succeed. By using your own creativity, you build and strengthen all your other soft and hard skills. Okay, so there are more than one way to do something. Find the way that works for you. Looking back at my journey from the chill beaches of Thailand to the lively classrooms of polluted Vietnam. And now diving into the world of programming, I can't help but feel grateful for the ups and downs of life. Whether I was exploring the ocean depths or tackling lines of code, I realized that teaching is way more than just passing on information. It's about sparking curiosity, building resilience, and encouraging creativity. Both in diving and coding, I've seen that while hard skills give you the structure, soft skills like problem solving, teamwork, persistence, and imagination, they breathe life into them, making them truly amazing. Sharing my journey, I only hope to inspire you and others to embrace your own paths, challenges, and the beauty of blending technical know-how with personal growth. Thanks, guys, for tuning in for another episode of PyPod Chronicles. Until next time.